I want to show you how to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card and be approved no matter what. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's convo, I want to teach you how to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card and be approved no matter what. The first thing you need to understand is that if you have outgrown your current credit card and are looking for one that better fits your spending and offers rewards, you can either apply for a new card or ask Navy Fed for an upgrade. So upgrading your card with Navy Fed can simplify actually the approval process, and you may avoid a hard inquiry on your credit report, which is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get an upgrade without a hard pull, right? So please, you want to start the whole conversation by talking to a customer service rep. One thing you also need to do before calling the person is to get your paperwork ready, and you need to motivate your intent. Remember that. You need to motivate your intent. You need to explain why you needed an upgrade. You can talk about if you have a new job. Let's say you have a higher paying job. You have more income coming from multiple sources. Let's say you have a side gig or two side gigs or whatever it is, but your bottom line is getting healthier and healthier every month. So you want to explain that. You can talk about if you have less expense. In other words, you went from, let's say, $5,000 in terms of expenses every month. Now you went to $5,000 to $3,000 or $2,000. So either more money, more income, or less expense is pretty good. If you have a situation where you have low debt, this could be a great reason also to ask for an upgrade. In other words, your risk profile is getting better vis-a-vis Navy Fed. If you have a low credit utilization ratio, this is kind of cool also. Remember that your CUR, your credit utilization ratio, is an important criterion in your credit score. As a matter of fact, it is the second one after your payment history. It accounts for 30%. So this is kind of cool. This is really, really important. If you have recently had a credit score increase, you can also mention that. So I'm just giving you, and the list here is non-exhaustive, of course, right? But I'm just giving you a plethora of reasons you can actually advance, you can actually talk about when having a convo with the Navy Fed credit card rep. Okay, one thing you need to understand is that upgrading your Navy Fed credit card is when you change your current credit card to a better card in the card issuers lineup. So I will be talking very soon about the list, the lineup of credit cards that Navy Fed has, and it's just all about just staying with the same issuer, in this case Navy Fed, but asking for a better card. You could also upgrade a secured credit card, which requires a security deposit, to an unsecured credit card. So this is also a scenario that is feasible. Let's talk about the limits. So before we actually talk about how to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card, it's important to understand that each Navy Fed credit card has its own limit. One thing we need to remember is the maximum limit you can have with Navy Fed across all cards ranges from $175,000 to $250,000. We have seen a lot of people who got a $250,000 limit. Yeah, it's true. When you hear it, you're like, oh wow, this is impossible. I can guarantee you it is possible. It's all about how you play the game. It's all about your financial situation. It's all about whether you understand how credit works. Here is the maximum limit for Navy Fed cards. So we have first the flagship Visa. Credit limit ranges from $75,000 to $150,000. Then you have the Platinum. The limit ranges from $50,000 to $75,000. You have the Gold Rewards, $60K to $80K. And the cash rewards, $65K to $85K. Obviously, the numbers I'm giving you are averages. You might be at the lower end or the higher end. It really depends upon a lot of factors, but this is important. Knowing the maximum limit helps you know how further up you could be approved for. whether you stick with the current card that you have or you upgrade, you need to know the limit. If you are already close to the limit, you can consider upgrading. Let's say if you are currently in your current bandwidth, if you will, in the current range with your current card, and you know you're close to the limit, then consider upgrading. For example, you can consider upgrading to the flagship. Now, it's important to understand that we have actually covered this. We have covered a related topic on another show. This is actually on the screen right now. You can see we have covered Navy Federal credit limit increases on another show. You might want to avail yourself of that show. It's important to understand when we speak about Navy Fed card upgrade and Navy Fed credit limit increase, those two topics are kind of related. They are interrelated. So this is if your request got disapproved, in other words, got declined, then you can consider a credit limit increase, right? So this is what you need to think about. So pay attention to the limits, very important. So flagship Visa, 75 to 150, Platinum, 50 to 75, Gold Rewards, 60 to 80, Cash Rewards, 65 to 85. Now let me talk to you about the process. How to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card. The first thing you need to do is to call Navy Fed. Because the upgrade process varies from issuer to issuer, you want to call Navy Fed to ask for the details of how they handle upgrades and learn what cards would be a good fit. Okay, so if one option sounds like a beneficial upgrade to you, move on to the next step. And the next step is negotiate. It's important to understand. So when you are on the phone, you want to ask if the representative might offer an introductory bonus or a higher credit limit for switching. Sometimes reps will make you an offer. In addition, it never hurts to ask. And that's what the whole thing should be about. And if you try once, let's say you just try today and you got a rep that was not so accommodating, try 3 days down the road or 1 week down the road. An upgrade, when normally done, does not trigger a hard pull. Let me repeat that. An upgrade, when normally done, when properly done, does not trigger a hard pull. You also need to decide if an upgrade is better than a new card. So whether you upgrade your card or go for a whole new one depends on what you want. If you really after a fantastic introductory bonus, you may need to go with a new card. If you're worried about lowering your credit score, you want to consider an upgrade, right? Because if you go for a new card, new card applications generally trigger a hard pull, unlike upgrades. If you're upgrading, chances are you might get a soft pull, and if you're even lucky, you're not getting anything at all. You're not getting anything in terms of people looking into your credit score. But if you're going for a new card, especially if the new card is another category and a very good one, like a flagship Visa, for instance, then you might get a hard pull. You will get a hard pull. So step number 3, you want to decide if an upgrade is better than a new card. And step number 4, you want to approve the upgrade. So if you decide, let's say the offer Navy Fed makes to you is kind of cool, then you want to call them to let them know. Okay. The thing here is that financial institutions in general, and Navy Fed in particular, cannot perform a soft credit check or an update without your approval. So calling verifies that you have made your decision and are ready to go forward. And the 5th step is to get your card in the mail. Okay, that's just what it is. So this is where you want to monitor your mail, because your new card should arrive within 7 to 10 business days. We have had people who actually got their new card within 5 days, within 3 days. So this is really the bottom line is you want to ask the rep how long the wait will be. That way you can plan things, and that's it. Let's talk about the pros and cons here. So when we talk about how to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card and be approved no matter what, it's important to understand the pros and cons of upgrading a credit card in general. Here are the benefits of upgrading a credit card. So you might get a credit card with more benefits, right? You can get one that provides more value. Your upgrade may earn more rewards on your purchases, have more valuable perks, or both. You want to maintain your account history, because if you really think about it, upgrading your credit card means you continue the account history you started with Navy Fed. And you started the same account history with the old card, which is good for your credit, right? You want history on your credit report. This is important. The average length of time you have had a credit account open is a factor in calculating your credit score. So closing one card and opening a new one could hurt your score. Another benefit is you have no credit check. Navy Fed can usually process an upgrade without performing a hard credit inquiry. This is important. And as I said just a few minutes ago, a new credit card application, on the other hand, would require a hard inquiry that temporarily affects your credit. So just keep in mind that there are exceptions. So you want to double check before upgrading or before increasing your limits or before opening a new card. And you also might get some upgrade bonus offers. Sometimes Navy Fed will offer bonuses to cardholders who upgrade, most of them in the form of extra rewards. So those were the pros of upgrading a credit card either through Navy Fed or in general. What are the drawbacks of upgrading a credit card? You might not get introductory offers. You won't qualify for any sign-up bonuses or 0% intro APR offers that new customers will get. And so this is something that you have to ponder if this is something you are interested in, something that you would love to have. It is on a case-by-case basis. You call the shot. And an upgrade might be more expensive. In most cases, you'll be paying a higher annual fee. So before you upgrade a credit card, make sure that your new credit cards from Navy Fed Perks will make up for its cost. Navy Fed generally does not charge. They are very good at maintaining a good level of fees, including annual fees and all the other fees. This is why they have such a great reputation. However, when we speak about a credit card being expensive, it's not just the fees, right? You have the APR also that plays an important role. So pay attention to the whole constellation of fees and costs. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sorted Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about how to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card and be approved no matter what. Let's talk about choice. So how do you choose the best upgrade card for you? The thing is, if you want to upgrade to a different card, you need to learn about several features before taking the leap, right? First, you need to like Navy Fed. Everybody loves Navy Fed. I've never seen someone who doesn't. So if there is a feature about the overall company that you don't like, so you want to reconsider taking out another card with them. Maybe you want to try PenFed or you want to try Chase or Citi. That's totally up to you. You want to pay attention to 5 things. What is the annual fee? Is there one? Maybe not. If you're lucky, Navy Fed rarely has annual fees, but if there's none, that's fantastic. If there is, because we've been hearing that they do it on a case-by-case basis for certain cards, you want to weigh if the benefits are worth the additional cost. Does the APR remain the same? This is important because Navy Fed, as well as other card companies, typically maintain the same APR across the board, but you want to confirm that yours will not change, or if they extend a new card to you, they will have a lower APR introductory rate. Does the new card offer rewards? And if so, what type? This is important. At the end of the day, when you have a credit card with Navy Fed or with another issuer, you might want to be rewarded, right, for your everyday spending. So a credit card from Navy Fed can provide travel rewards, cashback rewards, general rewards points, retail rewards, and gasoline rewards points. It's all about the card. So before upgrading, you want to review the rewards that the new card offers, your target card will offer. And do the rewards categories make sense for you? Because we hear this all the time. You have, oh, this card has this rewards. It's just fantastic. It's great. But the question is, does it make sense for you and your family? Does it make sense based on your spending pattern? Everybody's different. Don't tell me because the rewards categories are great for Peter, they're good for you. No, they might be different. Or, so it's basically about sitting down, looking into your budget, and have a clear idea of where you spend most of your money, and see if the categories, the rewards categories, match those budget items. And you also want to think about the added benefits. Okay, most cards come with perks on top of rewards. You want to look into things like travel assistance, waived foreign transaction fees, low interest rates, and statement credits for specific purchases. So these are things you want to pay attention to. Now, there are some alternatives, and I want to talk about the alternatives. So, in today's conversation, of course, we have been speaking about how to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card and be approved no matter what. But what are the alternatives? What other kinds of credit card changes can you request from Navy Fed? You can, for example, ask for a change to your interest rates. Yeah, that's possible. A lot of people don't know that, but you probably start with you started with an APR of 19.99% or 17.99%, and over 18 months or 12 months, your financial situation has changed, has improved dramatically. This could be a great time to ask for a reduction in your APR. You can negotiate that because you could save a lot on interest rate payments. You can pay down your debt faster or lower your monthly debt payments. So it never hurts to ask. And if you are told no, you can pursue other options like moving your remaining balance to a balance transfer card with an introductory 0% APR period. So pick up the phone right now and call Navy Fed and negotiate a lower APR. Of course, you want to be ready. You want to be prepared, right? You got to motivate your intent. You got to actually have a couple of arguments to demonstrate, to substantiate that you deserve the lower APR. You can also ask for a change in your credit limit. We have actually covered this on another show, so you can actually ask for an increase in your credit limit. So it's either you upgrade to another card, or you actually stay with the same card, but you ask for an increase in credit limits. Most of the time, if you do it right, Navy Fed is not going to do a hard pull on you because they already have your data. And if you are a member, if you have accounts with them, if you have established a multi-product relationship with them, chances are they have all the data they need anyway from you. So they are not going to do a hard pull. Having said that, please, you want to confirm this with them. You want to double check with them. You want to make sure that if you are asking for a credit limit increase, there will be no hard pull. You can also negotiate an offer for a 0% balance transfer offer. Okay, that's possible too. At the end of the day, you're not losing anything. Just ask them. Be always sure on two things: no hard pull, and you want to back up your request. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was just talking to you about how to upgrade your Navy Fed credit card and be approved no matter what. And you want to do your research. You really want to back up your request. You want to motivate your intent. And so just kind of a recap here. I gave you an overview, the limits on the existing Navy Fed credit cards, the process, the pros and cons, the choice, and the alternatives. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.